My name is Ted, and I've been officially part of the Koa community since 2000, so over 15 years. And I am a concept artist in the video game industry, and I'm a teacher at George Brown College and Toronto Film School.
And my name is Chun, and I have the privilege to be able to work at a wonderful hospital. I work as a physiotherapist, and I work with children with special needs, trying to improve their quality of life by improving their physical abilities. What is the purpose of work? It's a blessing in the fact that obviously it provides us with resources, it be finances to be able to support our families, to be able to enjoy the blessings of this world that God has allowed us to have. So there's definitely that aspect and that practical aspect of it. But it really is a mission field.
God has placed us in a specific situation with a specific skill set to be used by Him to ultimately, hopefully, share the good news. How do I express my faith at work? Well, I think when you hear that question, especially believers hear that question, the first thing we think of is the most obvious one is, how do you actually share Christ? Ultimately, even before that happens, is how well you perform at work. We're called to work excellently. So one verse that is always to me in Colossians that talks about how whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as for the Lord and not for human masters. Because when we do that, people will see that, and they'll see you work with integrity. They'll respect that, and if they respect that, they will be more open to trust you with other things. But the worst thing we can do as Christians is not work well, be lazy or lackadaisical or apathetic, and even worse, be bitter, and then try to separate that. Say, outside of work though, this is who I really am, and do you know Jesus? People might even scoff at that, because if they're not going to respect you at work, how are they going to respect you about these other things in life?
I had the opportunity to go on a short-term mission trip to Mexico, actually a few times. I decided to fundraise at my office. At the end of that, in order to thank them, I had a little lunch for them. And the little lunch was great because it allowed them to watch a slideshow of the actual event, and for them to really see what we did. This gave me an opportunity to be able to explain why I'm going and who I'm going with and what the motivation is. It wasn't your traditional, here's my testimony and let's talk about Christ, but at the same time it really doesn't hide the fact that this is part of who I am.
But I think if we go about it as everything we do, we're doing for the Lord, for His glory, but also because it's His command, then that allows us to push through, especially on the hard days. Then we're not relying on those things that we find security in, our confidence, or only if I feel like it. No, it's because at the end of the day, God has commanded this of me, and I want to serve Him. So even if it's a bad day, I'll do my utmost to push forward and represent Him in wherever I'm in. I think being rooted in Christ also means having your identity in Him. If we identify ourselves as children of God, that really grounds you no matter what setting you're in, no matter if you're with people that you relate to or people you have nothing in common with. It also means we're leaning on Him, and that's thank God, because we're so, insufficient and flawed as we are.
For me, a visual comes, I guess, and I actually look or think about the roots of a tree and how that infiltrates into the foundation. If that foundation is Christ, then if I'm the tree, ultimately that foundation being so solid, whatever happens around me, I'm still able to withstand it.